All right. So we have Puppy. You go by the name Puppy.
Yes, sir.
And
Rachel.
You guys are a couple.
Yes.
How long have you guys been a couple?
6 years in August.
6 years in August. And Puppy has a very interesting fetish.
Yes.
Something I've been looking for a while, but it's been very difficult to find somebody to talk about this. And I found you.
I mean, we're fine to talk about it, you know.
We're not going to give a demonstration.
No. No, I need a few days to like prepare for it.
So Puppy, do you want to tell us what your fetish is?
It's to be a human toilet. It's where someone defecates on you. Generally, I like to be tied up, forced. It's not necessarily that I like the taste or the smell. It's the submission part where you have to be in complete submission.
And being crapped on is the ultimate in.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Scat is another word for it, right?
You have to be in a place called subspace, and subspace is where it's like a trance, and you just lose all inhibitions, and it's just crazy. It's hard to explain. You have to actually be in it. It's like being hypnotized.
When did you discover that this was your thing?
A funny thing. When I was a kid, like 4 years old, I used to put Sour Patch Kids in this girl's butt and eat them out. And this is before I even entered like kindergarten, you know. So I didn't know that was a fetish at the time, but
Did you learn this from somebody?
no, I just kind of.
Nobody did this to you or anything like that.
No.
It was just something you picked up on your own.
Yes, sir. And you got to kind of ease your way into it, you know.
You have to ease your way into eating Sour Patch Kids out of a.
Oh no! Just the scat part. The Sour Patch Kids, I did that. I like booty since I was a little kid. I guess, you know, eating it, and it's a beautiful thing. I love it.
So you sent me some photos.
Yeah.
That were pretty graphic.
Action.
Of a girl.
Yeah.
Was it Rachel?
No.
Another girl.
No, it was mistress. It was another mistress.
Yeah, and she was taking a dump on you.
She was taking a dump in my mouth. Yes, it was part of my training. I was helping her train and myself train as well, because some girls, like, they would come to me to train themselves because they would get stage fright, let's say, when they went to go to a client's house to something that they wanted a fantasy to fulfill, and they would get stage fright. So they come to me to train them because, you know, I wasn't paying them, and then they would learn on me how to do it. I'd be really easy to be pooped on because I was excited about it, and you know, and so I made it easy for them.
I would think it's difficult to find a partner to engage in this kind of.
You would think, but it's not if you're open. If you're open about any of your fetishes, there's other people that have this fetish or any other fetishes. You know, you got to be open about it. If you're not, you'll never find anyone that
if you don't
will
speak
satisfy
up,
your needs or whatever. You know?
The one thing I've said this before in other fetish interviews I've done is the level of good quality communication amongst this crowd is unmatched, I think.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Like,
it would have to be, right?
Yeah, I mean we're completely open with each other in every way. You know, like.
Well, and things that you didn't think that you would be into, you try them, and then you find out that you are into it. Like, you know, most of sex is not even, it's about power. And so feeling powerful is sexy. And you might not think that, you know, playing with scat or, you know, urination or anything like that is sexy. But in the moment, when you feel that power, you do feel sexy.
Can you guys maybe explain how that could be? Because you imagine what the comments are going to be on this video.
Well, how he introduced me to it, because I had no prior experience before him. You know, he would do a lot of fantasies that I had, and one of his fantasies was for me to pee in his mouth. And so I was like, okay, you do enough fantasy fulfillment for me. I can fulfill this fantasy for you. I'm not drinking it. It's not going to hurt me. So we did it in the shower, and like, I had probably the best orgasm of my entire life from that experience, to the point where the next time I was like, it's time, let's get in the shower, go. and it was more for me than for him.
You enjoyed it.
Yeah. Like, when you're urinating, like some part of you opens up that isn't normally opened up during sex, and it just hits spots that I've never had before.
Can't
I'm
argue
good
with
with my
that.
fingers too,
I'm sorry?
I'm good with my fingers too.
Yeah. Yeah, he does do a good finger bang.
What do you think the attraction is to the being defecated on?
I think it's more the submission part, but some people like the other, the taste and the smell. Like that's just not me. I just like to you completely submit to that person to be able to take that from them.
But if you're being like she's crapping in your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I would latch on, and it would just go like basically straight down my throat. So.
I mean, what's the after effects of this?
Subspace, complete and utter, like it's
No,
pleasurable.
but I'm thinking about
Of being sick or anything
being
like that.
sick. Yeah.
So for me, what I do beforehand is for the maybe 4 days before, I only eat raw fruits and vegetables, yogurt, and granola. So no meat, because it just changes the bacteria that's in your bowels. Because you don't want to make anybody sick. It also is a different smell. Meat and meat products have a lot of smell to it. So I try not to eat any meat at all. Kind of do like a little flesh. And then that way, on the day of, when I'm going to play with that, then it's more...
More enjoyable.
yeah, it's not as stinky. It's
Are
not...
you doing this for your benefit or for...
Both, because I don't want to get him sick. I don't want him to have E. coli. So it just changes the bacteria that's in your gut.
Oh, but not
By
having,
changing
not
your
having
diet.
rotting meat.
Right.
Because any kind of medication that she takes, it would end up being in me. Or if she was sick, it would make me sick.
You've never gotten sick from this? Mm-mm. Even with other partners?
I've had like a stomach ache, but then it kind of passed after a few hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think I had any worms or anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope not.
I mean, do you see it as crazy, or do you see it as just like what
I see it as different. I tell people that I'm weird and things like that, and they're like, "You're not weird. You're just different," and I accept that.
you tell them in what ways you're weird?
Oh yeah.
And they-
I let everybody
Yeah,
know what
he's
I
very
do.
open.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And everybody loves to be around me. So I don't know why.
Yeah, you seem pretty delightful.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I think you're delightful.
You taste delightful.
But yeah, he started me out doing just urination, and for
On
probably the
mushrooms.
first year, and then we worked up to it, and it was really hard the first time, because you're taught like your whole life, like don't poop unless you're on the toilet. So I started out in the shower, and that was a little bit easier because then it was washed away, and then we worked up to being able to do it in the bedroom.
Yeah. I mean, it might sound crazy, but I mean, there's a lot of different crazy stuff that happens in this world, And we just enjoy each other and everything about it.
Is it a sexual experience for you
Oh, absolutely.
and for you as well?
Yeah, it's about power, You feel very powerful when
When you're
you
crapping
take
on
a
somebody.
crap and you are rubbing it in his face. That's power to have that over somebody.
Yeah, some people think of like, "Ooh, that's poop," or whatever. But if you change your mentality, how you think, and think like somebody's actually eating my shit, it changes your whole mindset. Like you're a queen, you're a god or goddess, or you just feel higher power.
Yeah, and you enjoy being a sub.
And then I feel great being a sub to be able to give that power to you.
What was your childhood like, Puffy?
It was pretty normal. I mean, I grew up in Tacoma, Washington. It was pretty ghetto, but I mean, we didn't grow up rich or nothing.
But there was nothing traumatic that happened in your
No,
childhood?
my parents are still together to this day.
They are.
And yeah, I mean, our family's really close, and
Is there anything you can point a finger at to say, like, this is why I'm doing this? This
just
is why
Sour
I'm-"
Patch Kids out of the girl's butt. Maybe. That's the only thing I could really think of.
That would do it.
And I enjoyed it, so we did it often. So
And the
we
girl,
had it under the
it
covers.
wasn't traumatic for the girl.
No, she wanted me to do it.
She wanted you to do it.
Yeah.
How old was she?
She was the same age as me.
Which was 4?
Like 4 or 5, yeah. Yeah, it was before we were in kindergarten. So I think you start kindergarten at what, 6?
Yeah, 5 or 6.
So it was before then. Because she moved off when I went to school, like kindergarten. So so I've been a freak ever since I was a little kid.
The girl kind of turned you out.
Yeah, I guess so, huh? I used to call her a thinker. Or you should call her a thinker, maybe.
Probably.
So she would come so hard in the shower that I had to put shit handles in the shower in my apartment. I opened up the wall, and I had all the supports, and put handicap rails.
You guys have a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a
We
lot
had
of fun.
3 sex swings around the house with stripper pole, all kinds of stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Got a cage under the bed.
And you guys have normal jobs outside of
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
You're basically normal people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I work for myself, but I'm a contractor.
I'm a travel nurse.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't see your video. I'm just
That's
kidding.
okay. I don't.
I don't
I work when I want to.
You can choose where you want to work.
See, I love the openness and the just comfort, the comfort that everyone in this lifestyle has. All the fetish people that
I mean, you have to. If you're not comfortable, you're going to get yourself into bad situations, you know?
Yeah, I've heard
you
of that.
have to be able to talk about what you want, what you don't want beforehand so that, because once you're into the scene, you know, your mind goes elsewhere. You're not, so if you've agreed to everything beforehand, then you can just be free and relax into the scene
and enjoy it.
and enjoy it. And without thinking, oh, I don't want to do that, or, oh, I don't, you know, I do want to do this, but I didn't ask for it. So it's, if you talk about it all beforehand, then you're free to just be in the
I
scene.
think if you're open to discovering something new, you're going
On
to
our
discover something new.
On our second date, we had a 4-hour drive. And so we were like, well, let's talk about likes and dislikes. And so he's like, well, what do you like? And I was pretty vanilla at the time. So I was like, well, you know, I'll try whatever, but like no butt stuff. Like I'm kind of small and, you know, never really comfortable. I was like, okay, well, what do you like? And he handed me 14 pages, front and back, 7-point font, single spaced likes. So we went through on this 4-hour drive every one of the likes and dislikes. And I was like, yes, I'll do this. No, I won't do that. I don't even know what that is.
Right?
So yeah, it was very early on. We were talking about what we didn't like and did like.
And she's done all the no's by now.
Yeah, all the no's have changed to yeses.
All the things you said you wouldn't do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because then you rethink it, you know. Like, well,
Trust must be a huge part of this.
it's a huge part,
Absolutely.
right,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, trust is 100%. Like if you don't trust anyone or the person that you're with, then you can't be as open as you want to be. You know, I mean, I used to tell people, I'm doing the stuff that you think about when you're gonna come. You know,
But
you
we
go
do
to
it in
the
real life.
kinky place in your head. You're like, oh,
Would you say that most vanilla people
probably.
are wilder than they're much
1,000%.
Oh yeah, no,
they're
absolutely.
kinkier than they think they are. They're just-
1,000%.
They just can't come to terms with
They
it.
just don't have a partner that will do it with them.
Or they're not open enough.
That's what
Yeah.
Like you got to be honest. If you're honest, then like that's why people cheat. Or you know, not always. That's the reason, but you know, it's because they're not getting these certain needs satisfied. You know, not getting that button push. You know, everyone can be fake for a few months or a year or so, but in the end, you know, if you constantly think of having sex as poop or you know whatever you know your fetish is, you need to talk to your partner about it. You know.
I can imagine Sigmund Freud standing behind you guys with his arms crossed, nodding his head in agreement.
Probably, yeah. Right? I mean, she likes girls. So
Yeah.
she brings home girls. She has me pick up girls for her all the time.
He's the best wingman.
So, you know, the first time she wanted to pick up a girl, she was like, I want to put my face in her butt. And I went over to her, the girl, and said, my girlfriend wants to put her face in your butt. Can't she? And she went over and pulled down her pants, and she put her face in her butt.
I mean, we don't have to worry about cheating because we do it together, you know? So,
So you guys have an open relationship as well?
yeah. Yeah, we play with a lot of other girls. Like, I don't really like boys that much. They're kind of disgusting, obviously.
I'm not a boy, I'm a puppy.
You're a puppy.
How old are you, puppy?
42.
42, and you've always kind of been into this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I jumped in with both feet. Like my first apartment by myself, I turned into the whole apartment into a dungeon. There was ropes everywhere. There was like there was a St. Andrew's crossing, like the entryway of my kitchen. Like it folded up. I mean, I had a spider web, like kind of. I love to work with rope, So that too, I like to tie myself up and just have people come use me.
But scat is not necessarily Rachel's thing. She's just kind of open to it because you're into it.
Yes, of course.
Have you had female partners who are into it?
Oh yeah. People come to me and ask me about it all the time, like that they couldn't talk to whoever they're with, And some people want to try it. Some people, are just curious about it. But in the end, I think there's a lot more people into this than meets the eye.
Yeah, and you're taking a good shower when you're done, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. No, you got to clean up. I don't want to smell like it. I just want.
And people that think
it's more about the submission for you than about the actual excrement.
Yes, absolutely. But I think it's the ultimate submission.
Yeah, it seems to be. It sounds like it might be. Would you say being submissive heightens your sexual enjoyment?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. When I hit that subspace, there's nothing else like it.
Is that because at work you're running the show and you're the boss and all that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I turn my brain off and just be a robot or a drone or whatever you want to call it, And there's nothing else like it. It's a high that you get, It's a natural dopamine high. Dopamine, right? Yeah. Yeah. She's a smart one. I'm just the puppy. And that high, there's nothing else better than it. No drug can ever touch that high. It's just so euphoric. And
I'm not saying that being into scat is for everyone, but being open sexually and having your fetish explored
exactly
what would you recommend for people that are have lived a very vanilla lifestyle and they're maybe not as satisfied as they could be? Maybe they need to be a little more
watch my porn
exploratory.
Yeah, no, you got to explore. Like life can get repetitious or boring or what's the word?
Redundant.
Yeah. Thank you. Redundant, and you fall in I feel like a rut, and it's hard to get out of. And once you start exploring this endless explorations, with everything there's so many.
You can get dressed up. Put on a different outfit, and it's like armor. It makes you feel a whole different way. And go to different locations. Start small, and you're not going to start with scat. I do not recommend that.
Definitely not.
I don't recommend it. I mean,
you never know.
Start with just feeling sexy about yourself, and the more sexy you feel about yourself, the more sexy you'll feel with your partner.
It's really hard to be mad at somebody when you're coming all the time. We had nothing but sex if we weren't at work for the first 5 years. That's all we did was because I was a toy reviewer, so I had to have a new toy every day. Not like we needed them, but if you have sex every day, you're not going to get in fights with your partner. Why would you get mad? You're coming all the time. She came 5 years straight, every day, at least a gazillion times.
I mean, it does release a lot of endorphins.
Do you guys find that you're pushing the limits of what you're into, or
Always.
Oh yeah.
You're not just repeating the same stuff?
No, because even in kink, you can get into a rut. If you're doing the same kink all the time,
yeah,
it's the same as if you were doing vanilla all the time. So, we have different partners that we play with and different situations that we play in, and we go to different sex clubs around Colorado. Yeah, we're building a sex village.
Mm.
So, we're having kinky camping in 2 weeks, and everybody comes out, and we have a lot of outdoor play.
She ties me up and let girls just sit on my face.
And you guys
take turns on me.
You guys are in Denver?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's about 4 hours out of Denver.
4 hours out of Denver?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're right by the New Mexico state line.
But you're in Colorado?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
And there's a community for all this kind of stuff?
Of course.
Yeah, we're building it.
Yeah. Well, Denver has a little bit of a sex community.
Yeah.
Portland had a big sex community. That was where we lived before then. And then now we're creating our own sex community.
Are larger cities a better place to have these kind of partners, or?
Yeah, usually.
Yeah,
Usually.
they're more open in the city. The rural areas, they're a little more to keep to
They're on
themselves.
down. They are usually on the down low
Yeah.
in more rural areas. You have to know somebody who knows somebody.
Would you say the United States is a pretty conservative and uptight?
On the outside, maybe, but on the inside, no.
There's a lot of closets.
We're a lot of freaky deaky people.
Yeah.
They just don't want like we have a lot of partners that are super straight laced. They, CEOs of companies. They don't want anybody to know what they like. But then the moment the door is shut, they're the freakiest people that you've ever met.
Oh yeah.
Like shocking me.
Really?
And we love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not everybody can live their truth. We're lucky enough that we work for ourselves, so we don't have any kind of boss to answer to. We don't have any, anybody that.
You want to tell me what to do? I just have you to tell me what to do.
Right.
And then poop in my mouth.
But we're able to be free, and not everybody has that option. But in the bedroom, you close the door and be as freaky as you want, and nobody has to know.
Are you ever grossed out by the scat thing?
Yeah, she is.
I mean, not really.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. We've done it so many times now that I feel pretty powerful now.
So it's not really about sex as much as it's about submissive. Being
It's always about power.
Power.
All sex is
Power
about
and submission.
power. Yeah. If you feel powerful, you feel sexy. Like, it's...
If you're crapping on somebody's face,
That's a lot of power. It's a lot of power, and that's very heady feeling to know that you have that much power over somebody.
I mean, I get it. I love it.
And, I mean, when you think boys are gross anyway, it's easy to do gross things to them.
is there some kind of satisfaction you get from crapping?
A little bit.
On a dude's
You can see I'm smiling because just thinking, when you have crap in your hand and you're like just shoving it in somebody's face, it feels good. I'm not going to lie.
Like, don't get in your nails.
So let's put the scat thing aside. Just the dominance and the submission, which you guys are certainly into.
Yeah.
Explain that to me, that dynamic. Because typically you would think the guy is the dominant one and the female is the submissive one.
Like I've always, even when I tried to be a submissive. But even when I was a submissive, they would say I was a top from the bottom because I would still be bossing people. Or I want it this way, that way, the other. So I'm just naturally a bossy person. So it was really easy for me to be a dominant because I've just always been bossy. I'm the oldest of 4 girls. I've been a nurse my whole life. So I've just always told people what to do. So it was just kind of natural for me to be the dominant.
And I've always had my own business, work for myself. So to come home and be able to not have to tell people what to do or be in charge is what turned me out. I was dominant for a while, then I turned it into a switch, and then I was like, that's not for me. I'd rather be told what to do and turn my brain off because I'm just tired of telling people what to do at work. So they would consider me like an alpha submissive because I don't look like a normal submissive on the outside. Like if you saw me walking down the street, you wouldn't think so, because I walk with my head high, proud. But in the bedroom, it's different. I'm on my knees, bowing down to the goddess, doing what she wants, anything she wants.
And how often do you guys engage in this?
Every day.
Every day?
Yeah, we live it.
Yeah, who doesn't have sex every day?
I worship her body every day.
But in your style you're a sub most of the time, and
I'm a sub most of the
With
time.
me, yeah, for sure.
All the time. I'm her servant. She gets what she wants.
you guys are happy.
Oh, yeah.
I've never been happier. I was being fake when I was not me.
Something to be said for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he's my best friend.
Yeah, I'm basically in a test.
We work together. We live together. We play together.
It's
A
beautiful.
lot of people they choose their partner and they hate them. I'm like, why are you with somebody that you don't like? So I like him.
What
I like you too.
would you say is the secret to that? Because that's
Find somebody that you like. So find somebody that you like to be around.
Everyone likes their partner
Two
at some
rooms.
point.
No, a lot of people don't.
And then they eventually start to hate them.
Yeah. COVID showed them that.
Right?
No, we actually have, when we had our apartment, we had separate bedrooms, which is crazy to think about. We had,
I mean, you should have your own bathroom.
yeah, we
Have your own bathroom and your own
Especially with this
closet.
partner.
right?
Well, like you need to have your own space. Like we have our own spaces because
Yeah.
I like things a certain way. He likes things a certain way. And if you have your own bathroom and your own closet, then you can get along much better.
So it was the naughty room and the nice room. My room was the naughty
He was
room.
the naughty room. I was the nice
Because I
room.
made my room into a dungeon. You know, it's like all the walls were all covered in all toys all the way around, floor to ceiling. You know, and then I built a bed frame and sex swings on it. It was pretty dope. In an apartment.
But you know, you need to have like things in common. Like if don't date somebody that you don't have anything in common with.
Well, and to be open, like you don't know if your partner likes what you like or not till you talk about it. You know.
Yeah. Well, you're making yourself very vulnerable.
Oh yeah, no, I do because I don't care what people think of me. I never have.
But by doing that, you gain you get really heightened enjoyment, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And pleasure,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Lots.
which ultimately gives you, in a ironic kind of twist, almost more power.
Oh, I never thought about it like that. I'm powerless to her. But yeah, I
The
knew what you're
subs
saying.
often have a lot of more power than they let on.
That's what they say is the sub is the powerful one,
Right.
and you're absolutely right.
Well, because they put the limits. So you know, even as the dominant person, like I know what his limits.
Do I have limits?
I mean, most people
You
do.
almost don't, right?
No amputations.
Most people do. No blood play.
No castrations.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably about it.
What advice would you give to somebody who is curious about this lifestyle?
I'd say talk about it. Talk to somebody that's in the lifestyle.
Go to a munch. Give us a call. I mean, we're gonna start seminars
Right.
to teach people.
But there's
you know.
there's a lot of education things that most sex clubs will put on. They'll have an education day. Go to it.
Yeah,
Go
there's-
talk to people that go. Just ask questions. Like nobody's going to tell you don't ask that. You know, everybody's going to encourage you to ask questions.
And in every major city, there's dominant clubs like BDSM clubs or Kink clubs, or you know, just go and explore with these people. Like you don't have to play. You can just go and watch people play and ask questions. People are going to answer because we want to bring people into the community anyways. You know, I mean, everybody in the community is pretty much everyone's happy. You know, everyone gets screened when you have like parties and things like that, so everyone's safe.
Yeah, you can't just go to a club. You have to be a member. And in order to become a member, they'll make you go take a class so you can learn about consent, so you can learn about the rules, being respectful.
That's the one thing I would say about pretty much every fetish person I've interviewed is they all seem very happy, like genuinely happy, and the communication level is unmatched.
You have to. Like, when you're living your truth, it's a whole different feeling than only doing things behind closed doors. You know?
A lie has to keep up with another lie.
Right.
You know, I mean, and then
Trying to make yourself
fake.
fit in, you know, square peg into the circle hole, it's not good for your mental health.
It doesn't fit.
It doesn't fit.
Oh.
So but being yourself and being around other people that are also themselves, you know, it's just a relaxing feeling. You don't want to have to sit on eggshells for your
would
entire
hurt.
life.
That will hurt. This is a silly goose head.
Plus, like, if you can communicate about sex, then you can communicate about everything else.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
definitely.
like, we compromise on, like, we're building our sex community. So we're building a big home. Everybody said that it was going to, like, do not build a home with your loved one. Like, you're going to be having a divorce. You're going to be broken up by the end. But we have to make decisions every single day. And it's called compromise. Like,
Yeah.
you just,
She wins the compromise every time. But
no,
she
not
at least
every
involves
time.
me in the conversation.
We do talk about it.
Yeah, we talk about it. But she gets her way.
All right.
I mean,
I mean, that's one way to keep your girlfriend happy, your wife happy, is give her away. You know, don't be so stubborn. You know, I used to be stubborn, hard-headed. It doesn't work. Nobody wins. So just let them poop in your mouth.
All right.
It's the moral of the story.
More of the story.
Puffy and Rachel, thank you so much for being so open and honest and telling us about your crazy lifestyle.
Thank you.
I'm not endorsing.
I think it's totally normal.
I'm just
It's a totally normal
just
lifestyle.
exposing the world to some things that are going on.
Absolutely.
There you go.
All right.
Thank you for having us.
Puffy and Rachel, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.